Have you ever pondered about the invisible laws that govern our lives? As humans, we are innately curious creatures, always seeking to understand the world around us and the unseen forces that shape our existence. One such concept that has gained significant popularity in recent times is the law of attraction, a principle suggesting that by focusing on positive or negative thoughts, we can bring positive or negative experiences into our lives. It's a fascinating concept, isn't it? The idea that our thoughts, our mental energy, can influence our reality. It's no wonder that this idea has found widespread acceptance, capturing the imaginations of millions around the world. But my dear friends, let's pause for a moment and consider this. What if the law of attraction is just the tip of the iceberg? What if there is a deeper, more profound law at work here? Stay with me as we delve into this intriguing possibility. Enter the law of assumption, a less known but incredibly potent principle. Now you might be wondering, what on earth is the law of assumption? Well, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and allow me to explain. The law of assumption in its most basic form is the belief that your assumptions, or the things you believe to be true, shape your reality. Sounds simple, right? But let's delve a bit deeper into this intriguing concept. Imagine you're a painter and your life is a canvas. The law of assumption says that the thoughts you entertain are the brushstrokes that paint the picture of your life. If you persistently assume that you are successful, happy and loved, then that's the masterpiece you'll create. Take a common, everyday scenario. You're due to give a presentation at work. Now, if you assume that you're going to be nervous, that you'll forget your lines and that your colleagues will be bored, guess what? That's exactly how it will likely unfold. On the other hand, if you assume that you're going to nail it, that you'll remember everything, and that your colleagues will be impressed, then that's the reality you're setting yourself up for. The law of assumption isn't about ignoring the facts or living in denial. It's about choosing your assumptions consciously and wisely. It's about realizing that you have the power to influence your reality by the thoughts you choose to entertain. It's not about attracting what you want, it's about becoming what you desire. In essence, the law of assumption is like a personal cheat code for life. It's the key to unlocking the door to a reality where your desires aren't just possibilities, but probabilities. So the next time you find yourself doubting or worrying, remember this: your assumptions are powerful. They're not just idle thoughts, they're the architects of your reality. The law of assumption is all about stepping into the reality you desire, not just attracting it. So why not step into that reality today? The choice, as always, is yours. So, you might be wondering, how does this law of assumption work? Well, let's dive into it, shall we? Picture the law of assumption like a grand magician and your mind as the magic hat. You, my dear friend, are the magician, and your thoughts and beliefs are the rabbits you pull out of the hat. The law of assumption operates on the principle that your reality is directly influenced by your assumptions or beliefs. It's as if you're the playwright of your own life and your assumptions are the script. The universe, or your subconscious mind, doesn't distinguish between reality and your assumptions. It simply follows the script you've given it. Let's say you have an assumption that you're a fantastic public speaker. You believe it wholeheartedly, even if you've never given a speech in your life. According to the law of assumption, your subconscious mind will accept this belief and work tirelessly to make it your reality. You'll find yourself drawn to opportunities that allow you to speak in public, and you'll perform remarkably well. Your belief will become your truth. But here's the catch. The law of assumption also works with negative assumptions. If you assume you're bad at relationships, for example, your subconscious mind will ensure that becomes your reality. You'll attract tumultuous relationships and your belief will be reinforced. It's a bit like ordering a meal at a restaurant. The universe, like a diligent waiter, delivers exactly what you order. So how do we harness this law to our advantage? The key is to consciously choose your assumptions. Decide what you want to experience and assume that it's already yours. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It's like planting a seed in your subconscious mind. Water it with belief and watch it grow into your reality. Remember, the law of assumption isn't about wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's about truly believing in the reality of your desires. It's about stepping into the shoes of the person you want to become, feeling it, living it, and owning it. In essence, the law of assumption is about assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, how does the law of assumption differ from the law of attraction? Well, think of it like this. The law of attraction is like a hopeful radio signal sent into the universe, while the law of assumption is like changing the radio station entirely. The law of attraction suggests that you attract what you're focused on. But the law of assumption, it goes a step further. It says that you don't just attract, you become. Here's the thing. The law of attraction puts a lot of emphasis on the external world. It's about attracting things, situations, and people into your life. You want a new car? You visualize it, feel it, and voila, it should come to you, right? But what happens when it doesn't? That's where the law of assumption comes in. It's less about attracting and more about becoming. It's not about wanting that new car. It's about assuming the feeling of being a new car owner. It's about changing your internal state, your beliefs, and your self-concept. It's about living from your desired reality, not just wishing for it. This is why the law of assumption is often seen as superior. It doesn't just ask for change, it demands it. It's not about wanting, it's about being. And this, my friends, is a fundamental shift in perspective. The law of attraction often leaves people feeling powerless when things don't manifest as they hoped. It can feel like the universe just isn't listening. But the law of assumption, it gives you the power. It says, hey, you're the universe, you're the creator, you're in control. So you see, the law of assumption isn't about attracting what you want, it's about becoming what you desire. It's not about sending out hopeful signals, it's about changing the station. It's about stepping into the reality where you already have what you want. The law of assumption demands you to be, not just to want. Can the law of assumption really transform your life? That's a question many of us may have pondered. To answer that, let's delve into some real-life stories. Take the story of Jane, for instance. She had always assumed she would be stuck in a dead-end job, never really making it past her current position. But then she started using the law of assumption. She began to assume she was a successful, high-ranking professional. She started to act, think, and speak like one, and in less than 2 years she found herself promoted to a position she once only dreamed of. Then there's the case of Tom. He was a struggling artist, assuming he would always be unrecognized. When he adopted the law of assumption, he started assuming his work was already celebrated and admired. He painted with more passion and conviction. And would you believe it? His work started getting noticed and he held his first solo exhibition within a year. These stories are not anomalies, they're examples of the transformative power of the law of assumption. But how can we practically apply it to our everyday life? First, identify your desire. Whether it's a new job, a relationship, or a personal goal, make it clear in your mind. Second, assume that your desire is already fulfilled. Feel the joy, the excitement, the satisfaction. Live in that assumption. Third, don't allow doubt to creep in. Even if the outer world shows no sign of change, hold steadfast in your assumption. And finally, act. Act as if your desire is already a reality. If you assume you're a successful writer, then write. If you assume you're a compassionate person, then show compassion. Your actions should mirror your assumptions, and soon enough your reality will mirror them too. Remember, with the law of assumption, you don't attract your reality, you create it. So take control of your assumptions and start creating the life you've always dreamed of. So, are you ready to step into the reality you've always desired? As we wrap up our journey through the law of assumption, let's take a moment to revisit the milestones. We've learned that this law, unlike the law of attraction, doesn't require us to attract anything from the outside. Instead, it's all about assuming the feeling of our desires being fulfilled right here and now. This powerful principle teaches us that we are the creators of our own reality. We don't need to wait for things to manifest. We assume they already have, and the universe aligns itself accordingly. It's all about embodying the state of the wish fulfilled, not just thinking about it. So, take the plunge. Start applying the law of assumption in your daily life. Assume the state of your desires and watch as your world shifts to match your assumptions. The law of assumption is not just a concept, it's a way of life. Embrace it and watch your life transform.